Can you hear that? That's a vibe. What is up, Zach? Guess what day it is? It's Wednesday, my dudes. And you know what that means? The AstroFugitive podcast. It's been a whole week since I last saw you. And here we are again. Two people crossing paths. Seeing ourselves as reflections of one another and ourselves. Quite the experience, this human experience. Wouldn't you say? Just a thought. Just a thought. What is up, guys? How is everybody doing today? Welcome to the AstroFugitive podcast. If you guys are new around here, my name is AstroFugitive, and this is my podcast. We talk about gaming news, we talk about things going on in the streaming sphere. It's kind of an all over the place show right now. I haven't really nailed down all the finer points just yet, but I'd say we're getting there, and I'd say that's a good thing. Today that I have some topics picked out that I'd like to discuss. Mainly the title, the title topics are going to be things such as the Batman news that came out with the DC Fandome, and also the PS5 news that came out just today. Kyle in the chat's hit on the head already. I have seen the new COD trailer, and we're going to talk about it a little bit later on. Once we get through the, I guess I should lead up to those things, I guess, huh? But yes, I did see the new COD trailer. It does look pretty good. I am actually a fan of the Black Ops series in general, so I'm excited to get back into that universe. And then from what I heard on the video that I listened to before the podcast and whatnot, I don't know, it just intrigued me with some of the things that the guy was talking about. Apparently he had been invited to an event by Activision or Treyarch themselves, I think, Treyarch, to kind of see like a sneak peek of the game and what was going on, and he had some pretty good info on it. Once I get this stuff kind of updated, since I'm doing it on the fly here, I'll take a look at that and give you guys that video. But it looks cool, man. I mean, I'm not mad about it. Like I said, I think that Black Ops is a good storyline. I think it'll be fun to go back to, I don't know, not futuristic. I don't really care for the futuristic stuff at this point. I feel like it's kind of overdone and kind of dead in the water. At least that's what I think. It kind of throws me off almost immediately, but that's just me. Oh, that's not what I meant to click. Fuck, one sec. A little bit of a mix up here with the YouTube editing. Isn't it great? Isn't it great to be tuned into such a professionally run podcast that, never has any mistakes? Nothing. It's all good. It's all good. But I think the biggest thing that stood out to me in the man's video that I did watch was the fact that they were having, he said that in this video they were having like flashbacks to previous events that had happened. The game is a direct sequel to Black Ops 1, which isn't necessarily something that I can really comment on because I'm not that familiar with Call of Duty and the storylines that it has in it. But I have played it. I know that the biggest twist was, you are the man's, or he was fake the whole time. I think that's what it was. Yeah, so direct sequel to that, and then him having flashbacks to like Vietnam era things, and kind of experiencing things that seem to imply that they're under the influence of like hallucinogenic drugs, or some sort of testing is going on and things like that. At least he didn't mention the testing aspect, but that's what my mind jumps to. So I guess we'll see how that all turns out. I think it'll be interesting. I think it'll be quite interesting to see what goes on in that game. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. I think they said that they got some multiplayer announcements, or maybe some teasers coming out in the near future that are going to kind of give us a better look at what's going on inside that. But they seem to be pretty excited about it, from what I can tell. Well, nah. How about no to that song? Damn, dude, these songs, this playlist is not as solid as the other one, so I apologize. All right, I think that's what I wanted there. I think we're good to go. Okay, we're good there. Now let's hop over to Facebook and do the same thing. But I'm kind of thinking about different segments that I want to do for the show and the podcast and things like that, and I'm kind of getting some practice under my belt for getting an idea for just getting better. What am I trying to say here? I'm trying to make it and keep in mind that the podcast is meant to be an audio experience separate from the stream itself, but I am streaming it. So if you guys are listening to the podcast and you do want to catch this podcast live, you can tune in on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Just look up AstroFugitive and you will find me on all social media platforms. Actually, we got Twitter, we got Instagram, we got YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, TikTok. I mean, I'm all over the place. You know, there's really not a place that you can look that I'm not at. So that makes it real easy for you guys to get in on the action right now, versus, you know, waiting 10 years when I blow up. You can say you were there before all this, and you can be there in my chat 10 years from now and be like, hey, remember that time on the Astro podcast episode 3 you said that you were going to blow up in 10 years? And I'd be like, yeah, I do remember that, because I said it so that in 10 years I could say this. I told you so. And that's just how it is, you know. I don't know, that was a whole spiel. I don't know really where it started. I don't know where we ended up, but I think we're looking good while we do it. What up, Andrew? What's up, dude? Good to see you, man. I hope that you're doing well. I think we're looking good while we do it. Whoa, that's not good for the podcast. Very sorry about that. Alright, I can't do this while it's live. I forgot. I forgot. Okay, that's fine. You're right, and I will keep that in mind for next time. But you have to understand, I can't have you on, like, unless it's on a Wednesday, so you have to be off on a Wednesday to, like, come on and things like that, and we'll keep that in touch. The whole podcast is just, like, in its infancy at this point. I'm doing it on the fly and learning as I go with it. So it's just something that, I don't know, I gotta deal with, you know what I mean? Thank you very much for liking the stream, Zach. I appreciate it. So yeah, I apologize if the podcast is a little bit rough. If you guys are listening to this after the fact, I'm sorry about that. You know what I mean? But I think the quirks and all will get measured out as time goes on, and we'll figure it out. You know what I mean? You know? I know, man. There really is a whole lot of news. Sorry, I was enjoying a nice cool drink of water for those of you listening to the podcast in audio form. Whether it's on Anchor, Spotify, or somewhere else. I can't remember where else. I'll have to put that up. There's still a lot of work to be done. There's still a lot of work to be done. Like I said, we're figuring it out as we go. And I'm happy with the fact that I'm doing it in the first place. You know what I mean? It's gonna be kind of shit until things get going. You know, and that's fine. I can live with that. That doesn't bother me at all. But, alright. This is good. The song is Lenny Face by Abstraction. Alright. So where do you guys want to start today? You want to start at PlayStation? You want to start at PlayStation? We'll start at PlayStation. As of today, Sony has come out and said that they are opening registration for invite-only PlayStation 5 pre-orders. Meaning, they are opening up a registration online. I'm going to put a link to this article in the description of the podcast and things like that. So if you do... fuck, dude. I guess I should probably do that before... Okay. Like I said, something else I gotta do. I gotta make sure that I have that for the stream as well, so that you guys can kind of follow along if you wanted to even. But essentially, Sony has decided that because there's going to be so few consoles available for pre-order on the launch of the PS5, there will be an open online registration, and you could be selected to receive an invitation to pre-order the console directly from Sony themselves. PlayStation themselves. The article makes a point to kind of you know, separate the two, so I'm just doing it too. My bad. So yeah, that's interesting. It's interesting. You can tweet it. It's cool. Yeah, I might have to do that. I might have to figure out a way to like add it to tweets, but we'll figure that out in the future. There's going to be a limited number of consoles that released for the PS5, so they're resorting to a random selection process, which doesn't really say, like, it doesn't seem like it's truly random. They kind of have like prerequisites or like things they're going off of, apparently, to decide like who's going to get access to it and who's not. To put it with what they said, the invitation is distributed will be based on previous interests and PlayStation activities. So who the hell knows what that means? I have zero clue what that has to do with anything. I saw somebody talking about it on the tweet. What is this? There we go. There's the link. There's the link. Is it their article? Alright, bet. Thank you, Zach. I will put that in the show notes as well. Cool. So yeah, it's based on previous interests and PlayStation activities. I saw somebody tweeting online talking about how maybe that means that it'll be based on how old your account is with PlayStation and like how loyal you've been, or what. I don't really know. That would describe the PlayStation activities, but what does previous interests mean? Are they going to be like harvesting your data and also your organs to like find out what you're into, to see if like you're a perfect DNA match to, I don't know, sync up with your PS5 in some sort of techno human biological monstrosity? I don't know. Nobody knows, because they're not saying anything. They're just saying, oh, we're gonna let you enter a lottery, you know, and we'll just pick based on your previous interests and definitely not your genetic makeup. You know, this has real Evangelion vibes to it, and I'm not liking it. I don't like it one bit. You know, so I'm gonna pass on that. Been around since essentially the beginning, so hopefully we get that invite. Yes, I have, dude. I really do hope that you know, I hope they see how much I love their company and how much blood, sweat, and tears I'm willing to put on the line to make sure that I get that. Make sure that I get on that list. You know, that's what I want, and I intend to get it. So we'll see. We'll see. PS5 games or PS4 games won't work on the PS5 as far as I know. Or do they? That's fucked up. I'm stupid and I said a dumb thing. I think it is backwards. I think there is backwards compatibility for certain games from PS4 onto the PS5, but I don't know if they all will at launch. So, I don't know. I'm not sure. In addition to the invitations being sent out by seemingly pseudo-random, it seems that they will not be guaranteeing you to, you know, get a pre-order. Apparently it's time-based. It says you can only get one pre-order per PSN ID, because that's what you use to actually register. You put in your PSN account and things like that, and it puts you into a lottery, essentially. It also says that you have to have a US address to ship your PlayStation 5 to. Also, consoles will only be available while supplies last, so if Sony does invite you, you have to get it as fast as you possibly can. Okay. So, if you guys are out there and you guys are waiting to get your PS5 and you want to make sure that you can have a chance to get it first come, first serve, because honestly, dude, I feel like if you don't get it, like, when this happens, you're not getting one for a while. I really do believe that. And I think that's why they're doing this. Because people would be fucking mad if the console came out like on a store release. One, they can't do stores because of COVID and things like that, so that's kind of weird. But also, like, to have so many people excited about this console and to not have that many when you're waiting at the store and things like that is just asking for a bloodbath at Target, Walmart, Best Buy, whatever the case may be. Wherever you're going, there's going to be carnage over those consoles. I can guarantee it. Okay? So it's just something to keep in mind. You know? If the console was to drop and I didn't get it right away, I wouldn't be upset. Really. I mean, I have the PC, so I mean, I'm not like super behind in things. Yeah, I wouldn't get to play the exclusives first, but I don't know. But that really is my prediction. I think that there's some really weird things going on with the console war right now, at least with like the industry between Xbox and Sony as far as the release of their newest consoles. It seems kind of weird how secretive and hush hush about everything they're being. So it makes me wonder, because it doesn't seem normal. It doesn't seem normal for it to be this secretive. You know what I mean? But then again, this is the most competitive time to be doing a launch like this. I mean, gaming is more mainstream than ever. There's very, very high brand loyalty between the two opposing parties, and it's gonna be they're fighting for attention. You know, I think that they know that they have their main fan base, and that the only thing they're fighting over is the little in-betweeners. You know. But I mean, of course, that seems kind of basic. I don't know if I'm sounding, I don't know, dumb. I don't. There's a word for it. I just don't know what the word is for it right now. But I don't know. It seems these songs suck, dude. These just aren't the vibe I'm going for here. You know what I mean? Terrible. 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 Just do ambient. Jesus Christ, thank you. Abstraction is good. I'll keep his music on here. I do like his stuff. But I think I'm just waiting. You know, I think that everybody's just kind of waiting with bated breath to see what's going to happen, because nobody is saying a goddamn word. We have the Geoff Keighley event that's coming up very soon. I think it's what, Thursday? Is it Thursday? Let me see. I think it is. I have that link as well. I did want to talk about it. Yes, Thursday. At the Gamescom 2020 event, which is happening this week on Thursday. You know, there's all these events that I don't know. It says that PlayStation and Xbox are going to be at this event on Thursday, so who fucking knows? Maybe they'll both drop the price right then and there and make this like the biggest event ever. You know, I don't know. But something's got to happen. And I'm just like, I'm worried about why they seem to be waiting so long to say anything about it. So, I guess we'll just see. It's very interesting, to say the least. But I would say that if you want to get your PS5 and you want to make sure that you can have a chance to get your pre-order, that you get that link that I'm going to put in the show notes. You can find it in the chat right now if you're watching over on Facebook, and get that in there. I'm sure if you look up Sony PS5 invite, you'll find it. I'm pretty sure you will. But switching over to more of like, see, like I was talking about the Gamescom 2020 event, they seem to have quite a few people showing up to this thing and potentially showing off very big content. I don't know. I've never been blown away by any of Geoff Keighley's like events. I mean, the Game Awards show was kind of like, the Game Awards show is what gave us the Fast and Furious Crossroads announcement. So I think that that's pretty much all you need to know about that. And I think that's enough said about that. So I mean, you've got big names on here like Activision, Bethesda, Blizzard, Bungie, Devolver, EA, Gearbox, PlayStation, Xbox Game Studios. So there's the potential, I mean, for big announcements. Activision, I keep on wanting to say Activision will show off Black Ops, but they don't make that. So maybe they'll show off some more Warzone shit or something like that. Blizzard obviously has Shadowlands right around the corner, so they're gonna be talking mainly about that. Bethesda, I don't know, and I don't give a shit, honestly. I don't know what they could possibly announce or talk about that I'm like super into, because I feel like they're so still balls deep into Fallout 76 that doesn't even make a difference. EA, I have no idea what they would talk about. PlayStation and Xbox Game Studios, I mean, they can continue to announce games. I think that we're gonna see Ratchet and Clank, more of that on Thursday, right? I think that Zach was telling me that. So I mean, it's probably just going to be a retread of the things that have been kind of happening more recently than anything else, you know. And that's cool. So I'll be tuning into that. There's been a lot of events, man. There's been quite a few events happening lately and upcoming. It seems like all we've had is like events, but I mean, I guess that's the world we live in now. With like COVID and things like that, events like this seem to be all the rage and something that everybody's into, which is cool. I can dig that. Dude, my leg is just fully in the frame. I'm just sitting here like super fucking relaxed. Knee in this shit. Nobody said a word looking at my knobby ass knee. Disgusting. Disgusting. I can't believe you guys didn't say anything. How rude. That's an event. That's an event in itself. Speaking of events, DC Fandome happened this weekend. I think I saw Spider-Man being shown. Possibly. At the Gamescom thing. Possibly. We'll see. I'll believe it when I see it. How about that? So we got that. DC Fandome happened this weekend, and boy oh boy. Boy oh boy, was it everything we wanted, needed, love. Everything. Every single bit of news that everybody was waiting for was given, and then some. Incredible. We got Gotham Knights. We got Justice League Snyder Cut. We got new Suicide Squad movie. We got new Suicide Squad game. You know, I mean, just wall to wall with these announcements. Absolutely just I tell you what, I've seen a lot of companies come and go, Jim, but if there's one thing I know, it's that entertainment always wins. And that's something to keep in mind, Jim. I'm telling you right now. Okay, DC, they really showed their guns this weekend. And I'm not talking about James. I'm talking about the big hitters. The big ones. I'm talking as big as the differences in this accent from when I started to where I'm at now. It was incredible. Fantastic event. I didn't watch the live event, so I didn't actually see what they were doing. Water, one sec. Water done. I didn't sit down and watch the event, but I watched everything after the fact. Really some things that stuck out to me. I didn't watch the Suicide Squad clip, the movie, the Suicide Squad clip. I don't even know if they had one, to be honest. I think that I saw one that was like a little tease or something. I don't know. But you know, James Gunn is working on the new Suicide Squad movie. I think he was meant to do the first one, got let go or whatever the fuck. I don't know. And people seem to be pretty excited about it. Things are still pretty hush hush. You know, things are still pretty hush hush as far as like what the movie's actually about. We know that Will Smith won't be in it. We know that Idris Elba will, which is a good trade, I would say. The positive exchange. And you know, it's just in a weird spot right now. They kind of just said it was, I don't know, happening. I don't know. So that's exciting. I'm starting off with that one because that one's kind of the one that I was, you know, least involved in, least, you know, attached to, and they didn't really say too much about it. So that's interesting. Looking forward to that whenever things do get announced for it. I think that my brother was telling me about the main villain being some kind of star monster. So that's cool. I'm into that. That's fine. They announced the Suicide Squad game, which is apparently going to be a shooter game, an action shooter, or something like that, which is pretty cool. I can get into that. Damn, bro, these songs are insane. They're so long. That was a 10-minute song. Jesus Christ. And now that one's super distracting. Biggest other news that came out about it was, I would say, or biggest other news aside from the main two that I want to talk about today, is the Snyder Cut for Justice League. We did get a teaser trailer of what we can expect inside this epic of a film. Can't even call it a film. A series within a movie is what we should be calling it. After all this time, we are finally going to see what Zack Snyder's original vision for the Justice League was, in the form of Justice League Snyder Cut. You've heard the name, you knew it was around the corner. Fans have been dying to talk about it, and I'm with them. Where was this? Zack Snyder, a victim of a very terrible tragedy, released from being able to finish his movie and having it taken out from underneath him. Disgusting. Not what you want to see, is what I would say. And now, finally, in 2021, we will be seeing what that original vision was. What did he have in mind? What did he have in the movie that wasn't in the movie when we saw it? We will know. And we will know all 4 hours of this movie, because that is what it's going to be. It's going to be released in 4 one-hour parts. Incredible. With an all-in-one bundle released after the fact, supposedly. I don't know. I really don't know. Very interesting, though. Very interesting. Because I'm just now thinking about why they would truly want to make this a 4-part thing. And now that I'm thinking about it, the answer seems obvious. They want to push HBO Max. They want to give it more, you know, widespread things. They want to have a streaming service, and they want all the people who are dying to see this movie pay for that 1-month subscription. And they did a little cheeky on you. They pulled a little sneakeroonie. They're like, if we do it 4 parts, then they have to pay for 2. They have to pay for 2 subscriptions. I think that's how it would work out. That could be dumb as fuck too. I don't know. Let's see. Yes, I've just been informed that I'm completely dumb, and they wouldn't have to do that. So that theory that I was like about to go on a whole tangent about, just scrap the whole thing, throw it out the window. Doesn't even need to be said. Doesn't even need to be said. What? Interesting. Okay, well, I'm just kind of reading. There's a whole ass in-depth article that you guys would want to see about it over on Rotten Tomatoes. Again, I will have all the links for this in the show notes, so you guys will be able to see it if you're listening in audio form. And yeah. And now, I'm going to talk about, saw during his live stream during DC Fandome that he will be releasing it on DVD at some point. Damn. I'm not surprised. It'll be some kind of collector's item, which will be cool. That'll be fun, you know? I think it'd be cool. And finally, the real winner of all the events put together. You know, whenever I hear this song, I can't help but think, why did I eat that bean burrito for lunch? And I know that my acid reflux isn't gonna let it happen. Why do I do this to myself? And why does Red Hood look so goddamn cool in this Gotham Knights trailer? If you haven't seen the trailer for Gotham Knights, what are you doing? You need to go watch it right now. Pause this, leave the stream, whatever it is, go watch it and come back. I mean, Jesus Christ. Why are you even watching this podcast or listening to this podcast, watching this stream right now, if you guys aren't into the Batman, PS5 and more? It says it right in the title. Interesting. Not that I'm mad, I very much appreciate you guys and your support and hanging out and everything like that. So don't get it twisted. That's not what this is about. But, yes indeed. Yes indeed, sirree. Bruce Wayne is dead. And I'm here to tell you today that he's got 4 badass, strong-willed, over charismatic individuals ready to take up the mantle and move on past this lone mastermind that was the Batman and just leave the solo operation behind and join forces together to defeat the evils that plague Gotham from the roots and beyond. I am so excited to play this goddamn game. I truly am. I'm gonna play the shit out of Red Hood, but I'll cover a little bit about it. I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay? WB Games Montreal has announced that they are going to be putting out Gotham Knights as a sort of reboot, detached from the Arkham series and things like that. They are trying to take the whole entire series in a whole new direction, and I gotta say, it looks damn good. Okay, we got to see Nightwing, Batgirl, Robin, and Red Hood, each of them a little bit in action, and they all look nasty, positively disgusting. I am not even joking when I say, when Red Hood is fucking flicking them guns around, it got me going. I was very happy to see it. It was on a whole other level of joy and excitement. And I felt in that moment that all of the planets aligned in a Sephiroth supernova-esque way. I was blown away. Truly outstanding. They all look super sick. They structured the trailer in such a way that just seemed to like I don't know, give you everything you wanted and more. It set up so much and showed what felt like so much. And then to follow it up immediately with gameplay was just... Imagine I clapped louder, but I don't want to clap louder because I don't want to blow up your eardrums. It was astounding. The gameplay looks good. Open world. Looks like a big map. Fully traversable from the onset, it seems, from what they were talking about in the IGN article that I read. It seems really good. I mean, they're talking about having, you know, skill trees, different skill trees for each character, meaning that they'll play differently, have different play styles, different abilities and things like that. No level gating or anything like that, as far as, like, I know people got worried that it would be similar to like an Assassin's Creed Odyssey where you have to grind out levels to get into the next area. They have said that that will not be the case, which is outstanding. Love that. And you know, it just seems like it's gonna be something. You know, there's not individual pieces of armor or anything like that. It's just a, you know, accessory type of deal is what they were saying. You have suits that are kind of like the skin, and then you can put up like accessories and things like that to kind of mix it up and get different stats, possibly. I don't know. Not a game as a service. It is a single self-contained story. Multiplayer is only 2 players, which is okay. It's fine. I like their reasoning behind it. If you guys want to know more, I can't go through all of it right now. I don't want to just read the article verbatim, but the things that stick out to me is it's cool that it's a reboot. It's very exciting that each character is going to have different sets of abilities and things like that that they can kind of spec into and kind of like have a unique experience depending on what you want to get out of it. 2-player co-op is fun. I'm into it. I think that it's gonna be a lot of fun. I think they're kind of subverting expectations in a big way by getting rid of Batman and putting these guys in the forefront, but I think it could pay off in a big way. Sorry, I was getting caught up in reading a thing real quick. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to the whole thing. Interesting. Okay. But I think it's going to do it for the AstroFugitive podcast for today. I hope that you guys enjoyed the show. This is kind of awkward. I don't like it. I'm kind of frustrated with it. But it's going up. You know what I mean? This is all a learning process. I need to get better at planning these things. While I'm doing it, I'm kind of realizing how unprepared I am for it. And it kind of is not good. So, I appreciate you guys for bearing with me. It is what it is. If you guys want to catch the stream live, or catch the live stream when I do this podcast live over on Twitch, Facebook, or YouTube, you can come and follow me over on those places at AstroFugitive. I'm also active on all my social medias at AstroFugitive. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram mostly, but I also have TikTok. I'm working on getting that a little bit more up and running. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching or listening. If you guys have the opportunity, please subscribe on whatever podcast platform you guys are listening to. My name is AstroFugitive. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. That's a wrap. That's a wrap for the podcast audio. If you guys are new around here, I'm going to be taking this stream offline and coming back up in about 10-15 minutes with my gameplay. I do it that way so that I can kind of, you know, segment the stream off on the actual page so everything's kind of like on its own, and we go from there. So if you guys are watching and you guys haven't already, make sure that you follow the channel wherever you are watching, whether it be on Twitch, YouTube, or Facebook, so that you guys can find your way back here when I go live with Apex Legends in about 10 to 15 minutes. Thank you guys very much for sticking to the podcast. I'll see you guys